Greetings friends, my name is Pavor Stelma and now we'll unveil the top news of recent days. Today, Ukraine celebrates the Day of Energy Workers. In the calendar it is written, Day of Recognition of the Merits of Energy Industry Workers in Economic Development, Improvement and Support of Everyday Life of the Population. And it is hard to argue that the Russian invasion proved to everyone how important this profession is for our country. What we used to take for granted, such as the light in our homes, a working electric kettle, a computer, the ability to charge our phone, has now turned into a luxury for many due to the constant attacks on our energy infrastructure. But Ukrainian energy workers have done and are doing everything possible to minimize the consequences of these attacks. Substations are repaired, lines are restored and equipment is replaced under the rockets and Shaheds every day.
I am grateful to every team, company and employer of our energy industry. Thank you for your excellent work for the sake of Ukraine, for the sake of our society. It is truly a feat to preserve our energy sector in such condition, in such an confrontation. Well done to everyone, from workers to engineers and managers of the industry. I really appreciate you all, and all Ukrainians have a lot to thank you for.
In today's world, normal life is simply impossible without a reliable energy sector. Our country is proud of its power engineers, who are not only professionals, but also incredibly brave people. They work anytime and anywhere, on holidays and weekdays, day and night, after sharing and natural disasters, truly saving the country. They give our people the opportunity to live and work. We remember last year, on these days, Ukraine lived in the conditions of harsh and long power outages with dark streets and the hum of generators. Today, electric transport runs in the cities, lanterns and shops' windows shine, ice rinks open. This opportunity is provided to us by the defense forces of Ukraine on the front line in heavy daily battles, and throughout the country intercepting drones and missiles. However, today all the rays of our energy are aimed at the fulfillment of one desire: victory. In 2023, Russia lost 1.5 times more military personnel than in the first year of the invasion of Ukraine. The BBC came to this conclusion based on analysis of the names of the dead based on open sources. The main trend this year is a sharp increase in losses among people recruited to the front as civilians. 2/3 of all identified deaths are those who were not associated with the army before the invasion: volunteers, conscripts, prisoners and recruits of private military companies. Judging by the hundreds of obituaries published with similar stories, the process of soldiers preparing before sending them to the front now takes only a few days. For comparison, before being sent to Afghanistan, conscript soldiers in the USSR were trained for 4 to 6 months. The military command is now trying to protect the paratroopers and special forces who survived the first year of the war, using them to hold positions and sniper operations. Valuable specialists are now sent to the offensive only when favorable conditions exist.
The Russian Federation is losing entire military units, elite forces, paratroopers, marines, special forces, contract. 87% of the regular army, into which an incredible amount of money was pumped before the full-scale invasion and which was literally demonized in many countries, has been destroyed. Russia conducts endless recruiting in its perpetual prison camps, sending more and more convicts to the war. Russia is not advancing anywhere, piling up corpses and burnt wrecks of its armored vehicles. Yet we continue to read fabulous stories in the media that the Ukrainian offensive is not as successful as it could be, and that we should probably start negotiation with a murderer who is in shock himself. Mikhailo Podolyak, advisor to the head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, on social network X, formerly Twitter.
Russia suffered the greatest losses during the entire war in the winter of this year, during an attempted offensive in Donbass. After studying dozens of hours of video footage of the battles, the BBC found evidence that tactical errors were part of the reason for the large losses of Russian forces as a result of countless attempts by the Wagnerites to storm Bakhmut. The city was almost completely turned into ruins. The deceased founder of Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, estimated the losses of his group in the battles for Bakhmut at 20,000 killed. The methodical work of the Wagner assault groups was ensured through iron discipline. They supported her using harsh methods. Assault groups do not retreat without command. Withdrawal of a detachment or retreat without injury was punishable by execution on the spot, noted the Ukrainian intelligence report. All this led to additional losses of mercenaries. Russia has also lost at least 59 military pilots this year. Certain military pilots died on the territory of Russia itself during the rebellion of Prigozhin and his mercenary group. Russian aviation suffered more losses in one day only on the very first day of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. By the way, today Russia lost 3 more Su-34 aircraft in one moment after Ukrainian successful operation in the south of our country. As the head of the Air Forces of Ukraine wrote, it was the answer to endless air attacks. In total, since the beginning of the war, Russia has lost more than 200 military pilots. These are specialists. Each of them requires at least 6 years and more than $3 million to train. Russia also lost at least 413 officers, including 2 generals. But the main information: the fate of many Russians who went to fight against Ukraine remains unknown, even to their loved ones. And despite all the statements of propagandists, the number of soldiers in Russia is decreasing, and mobilization is becoming more and more difficult. That's why the Kremlin is changing military accounting rules to send even more Russians to their death for the Kremlin's vicious goals. That concludes our today's video. Thank you for watching and stay updated. Comment, like and subscribe to our UATV English channel for more news from Ukraine. Your support is that really matters. Goodbye.